plant. The other plant is homozygous short. Homozygous means both alleles will be the same. And short is dominant, so they will both be capital S's. Because the capital S looks similar to the lowercase s, I'm going to draw a nice big S. In addition, I'm going to underline the capitalized ones. Another nice big S, and I'm underlining it. You always want to make it very, very obvious, whether it's a capital or a lowercase. So if there's any question, underline the capitals. Now for the sex cells. The first parent could either put the lowercase s on the left or the lowercase s on the right. The second parent could either put the large uppercase S for short on the left or the large uppercase S for short on the right. Now I'll put the sex cells up top and on the side of the Punnett squares. And then fill in the Punnett square. The first offspring has a dominant short allele and a recessive tall allele. The second one has a dominant short allele and a recessive tall. The third one is the same. And the fourth one also has a dominant short and a recessive tall. So for the phenotype percentages, all 4 offspring have one dominant allele. So all 4 offspring, 100% of them, are short. Because in this case, short is dominant. So 100% are short. And 0 are tall. Now for one last Punnett square. We're going to stick to the short being dominant and tall being recessive for now. In this example, we're going to cross 2 heterozygous plants. And instead of finding the phenotype percentage, we're going to find the genotype percentage. So think back or look back in your notes to the difference between the genotype and the phenotype. You're going to write out the parents' genotypes, the sex cells, make your Punnett square, putting your sex cells up top and to the side, and then you're going to write down the 3 possible genotypes, as well as what percentage of each the offspring are. So pause for a few minutes, and it should only take a minute or 2. Write down the answers to this question, and then press play. Okay, is everyone ready for the answer now? So, both plants are heterozygous. And because the short allele is dominant, we're going to use a capital S to represent the dominant short and a lowercase s to represent the recessive tall. Heterozygous means the 2 alleles will be different from each other. So there will be a capital S and a lowercase s. And remember, both parents are heterozygous, so both parents have a capital S and a little s. When creating sex cells, the parent could either pass down the capital S or they could pass down the lowercase s. Once again, they could pass down the capital S or they could pass down the lowercase s. So now we're going to put the sex cells above and to the side of the Punnett square. The first offspring will have 2 capital S's. One from the sex cell up top and one from the sex cell on the side. The second offspring will have a capital S from up top and a lowercase s from the side. The third has a capital S from the side and a lowercase s from up top. And the last one has the lowercase s from up top and the lowercase s from the side. So out of the possible genotypes, there could have been 2 capital S's, a capital S and a lowercase s, or 2 lowercase s's. 1 out of the 4 boxes had 2 capital S's. So 25% have the genotype of capital S, capital S. 2 out of the 4 boxes have a capital S and a lowercase s. So 2 out of 4 would be 50%. And 1 out of 4 boxes have the 2 recessive S's. So 25% are recessive. Okay, if you are asked about the phenotypes, 3 of the boxes have the dominant allele. So 3 of the boxes would be short. Only 1 box does not have a dominant. So that box, that offspring, would be recessive. In this case, it would be tall. Now I'm going to explain the rest of your classwork/homework. What you're going to do is create 5 Punnett square questions. In the first example, you're going to cross a homozygous dominant organism with another homozygous dominant organism. For the second cross, you'll cross a homozygous dominant with a recessive. Keeping in mind, in order to be recessive, it must be homozygous. For the third cross, you're going to cross a heterozygous organism with a recessive, and then a heterozygous organism with a homozygous dominant. For the last cross, you're going to cross 2 heterozygous organisms. In each cross, you're going to pick a different species. So we've been using plants so far. You could pick a species of giraffes. You could pick horses, mice, anything you can think of. Use your imagination. You can even make up a species or use a new species from your favorite fiction book. Then you're going to make up a particular trait that this species has. It could be any trait you want. And you're going to tell me what is dominant and what is recessive. After that, you'll write a question and show all work when you're solving this question. So, I'm going to give you an example. Your first homework question is to cross a homozygous dominant and a homozygous dominant. So I'm going to pick a species or make up a species. So there's some alien species that we've just discovered on a new planet. In this alien species, short ears are dominant to large ears. I'm going to cross a small-eared alien to another small-eared alien. Because small ears are dominant, I'm going to use an uppercase S for this trait, for the dominant one, and a lowercase s to represent the recessive trait of large ears. So I would cross 2 uppercase letters with another 2 uppercase ones. Now do not do this example. Make up your own example. Just make sure to show all of the work like we've practiced and write out both the phenotype and the genotype percentages. Best of luck, everyone.